Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Zack Snyder because the media is talking about Zack Snyder. It seems like they're going out of their way to kind of diss Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse. The other day we saw it trending about Man of Steel, that they were trying to say that Man of Steel was a waste of time. It was a terrible movie. It was trending on Twitter. It had its own thing. And why would they do that? Well, they announced that they were going to reboot Superman. They were going to have a black lead in Superman. It was going to be Cavill, for sure. And people weren't very happy with it. And they weren't happy with losing Henry Cavill as Superman. I know you were very upset.
Oh, I honestly didn't really care about it. I'm more excited about him doing, more Witcher and maybe possibly doing Highlander. So.
Yeah, Witcher's really good.
Those are more interesting to me anyway. I gotta tell you, I didn't really care for the Superman movie. I didn't. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be honest too. I did not care for Man of Steel. I didn't care that much for Batman versus Superman. I did like Snyder's Justice League though. I did.
I liked Wonder Woman, the first one.
Yeah, the first Wonder Woman. I didn't like the fact that Superman killed in Man of Steel. I mean, he had a hard time with it, but I'm just like, no, Superman, don't do that. So here's the thing. Ever since this was announced that they were going to reboot the Snyderverse, there's been this attack by the media on Zack Snyder. Every damn thing.
It was before that, but it was for other reasons.
And it ramped up, and it does feel like they're trying to, and I'm not saying Zack Snyder is a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see kind of like the machine, how it works, where he's basically butting heads with Warner Brothers, and all of a sudden here comes the media to be like, Zack Snyder must be all right.
No, I'm going to sum it up for you. They're pissed because Zack Snyder went and talked to Geeks and Gamers on YouTube, and that they were raising money for his charity, so he went and went on to these channels that they felt were toxic issue problem channels because they decided, and now they're doing this whole PR spin to try to make it sound like he's he's an outright Yahtzee, because don't you know that if you don't toe the line and agree with what all these people believe, it's not because maybe you just disagree for other reasons. It's clearly because politically, because everything's about politics now. You are on the other side of it. Even though many people like us, who aren't even Republicans, constantly get maligned and called names. Not that it should matter. Half the country's Republican. You're allowed to vote Republican. You're
not
allowed
in Hollywood.
You're allowed to be a Democrat. You're allowed to be independent or one of the parties in the middle. That's just the way it is. And I'm tired of this whole idea. And I'm not even a Republican. I'm more in the middle. But I'm tired of this idea that you're vilified if you vote a certain way. And that's stupid. And now they're trying to leverage that against him.
Yeah, so this is coming from CBR.
So stupid.
So chances are they zeroed in on one or two things that were said in another interview.
No, it's because they're pissed. They're mad he didn't do what they wanted, so now it's because he's alt-right. Because that's their go-to for everything. If they have no argument, they're pathetic and sad and have no argument because you have a good point, but then they immediately take it to, well, you're wrong because you're all right. You're a Yahtzee. That's gotta be what it is. It couldn't be that I'm wrong. No. It's because you're all right.
So
case closed.
We're going to talk about that. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 190,000 subs. Thank you for the support. And we do talk about comics, talk about movies, talk about pop culture, talk about the culture wars going on. And Zack Snyder pretty much had to do all his own press for the Snyder Cut. Because Warner at that point had already decided, people at Warner had already decided that this was a one and done. They weren't...
After they put how much money into it, why do it at all then?
$70 million?
Why do it at all then? It doesn't even make sense.
I think it was a Hail Mary pass to try to get people subscribed to HBO Max. But it was a one and done. Clearly, he has other plans because he was trying to set things up at the end for more movies. And, especially now with the merger with Discovery, I don't think it's going to happen. But he did do the YouTube circuit, and he wound up on a lot of different live streams, actually. It wasn't just, the alt-right ones, using finger quotes here. But he did wind up on Geeks and Gamers. We know how that went.
To be honest with you, I'm not that familiar. I don't even know how he votes. I don't even know because I don't care.
Who gives a shit?
Why does it matter? I'm tired of this whole idea. That's what I'm mad about. I mean, Zack Snyder, I'm not even doing this for Zack Snyder because I honestly don't care either way. But what I'm saying is I'm really tired of watching people that because someone doesn't agree with something or they did something they didn't like or they don't like that person. It's because they're alt-right, not because, maybe they have a point. They may disagree. Because you're not allowed to disagree. If you don't agree with them, it's not because you're right or wrong. It's because you're a bad person. Automatically. And what's the worst person we can think of right now? Well, according to Hollywood, that's being a Republican. So, you know.
We have to know who to cancel.
This is stupid, and I'm really effing tired of it. And I blame the media for most of it.
Well, that's it. This is coming from The Guardian, which I think it might have... Was it The Guardian? Was the one that they tried to attack Joker and Joaquin Phoenix walked out on?
I don't know, but, you know, Warner Brothers deserves whatever shit they get after all this.
Yeah. So in a recent Q&A hosted by The Guardian, Zack Snyder was asked various questions from a number of people, including actors he's worked with over the years. A lot of people see a right-wing political undercurrent in some of your films. Where do you stand politically?
The Joker? No, he didn't do the Joker.
He didn't do Joker, no.
No, so what, I don't, to be honest, though, I don't really watch his films. So.
I would, maybe because now they're coming after Frank Miller, and he did 300, and... But
that was years ago. Yeah. When it was okay to have an opinion.
Yeah, when it was okay.
Before the last 5 years when Twitter decided what opinion you were allowed to have because they are literally the Yahtzees of the internet.
Where do you stand politically, and has that changed over the years? Basically, we got a whiff of conservatism in your movies there, Zach. Are you voting the right way now? We're giving you a chance to recant.
Why does this even matter?
Yeah.
Where do you stand politically? Does it matter? Do you make good movies or not? That's what matters.
This is actually coming from Sarah Pauly.
I don't know, Sarah Pauly. Where do you stand politically? You need to be on trial, too, and answer every question about how you've ever voted ever in your life and whether or not your opinions in 2004 are different than your opinions now. For fuck's sake. Sorry, Mom.
He had to make sure he got in there. I vote Democrat. I'm a true lover of individual rights.
I'm a lover of individual rights, too.
I've always been a super strong advocate of women's rights and the women's right to choose, and I've always been surrounded by powerful women, and of course I'm a
women.
I'm a huge advocate for the rights of all ethnicities and every walk of life. So this is implying, though, that people that don't vote Democrat are not.
That's right. You know, here's what gets me. They don't understand that there are women and minorities that are Republican.
Or independent. Or libertarian.
They have this idea in their head that the only people who ever vote Republican are alt-right Yahtzee straight white men.
Yes.
And that's all they ever think. And it's like, that's not the truth. And a lot of people are in the middle. A lot of people are moderate, leaning one way or the other, but they tend to lean in the middle. I think that's the majority of people. The extreme Democrats who are calling everybody these names and the extreme Republicans who are going the other way are very, 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 very small percentage overall. And I'm so tired of this. Because basically you're saying I'm a Democrat because I like rights. And I think women have a right. And you're saying Republicans don't think that? Because I know a lot of Republicans who think that women have rights and that that people should have individual rights and that ethnicities should have rights. That wasn't exactly what defined whether you're Republican or Democrat.
Okay. So he said that I would say I'm a liberal guy.
We do. We are. We're in the middle.
Yeah. I want to make sure everyone's heard and everyone feels included.
Yeah.
I don't have a right-wing political agenda. People see what they want to see. For me, that's certainly not the point.
That's it. People are going to see what they want to see. If you're looking for a problem, you're going to find it. That's an old expression that's still true today.
So they asked him about the Black Superman movie. And he said it was a bold and cool move and probably long overdue.
No, not for Kal-El. If they had done, what's the other guy's name?
Calvin Ellis.
Yeah.
Kal-El. But it's another world's Superman. It's an Elseworld
They hadn't
Superman.
done Clark Kent and done him instead.
Yes.
I think that would be okay. And even people that are not white are saying that.
So here's where they're trying to trip him up too. Because he's supposedly going to do
so stupid.
Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. Now, Ayn Rand being a huge influence on libertarian thinking and considered right-wing-ish, they're going to try to trip him up because he's planning to do a movie based on The Fountainhead. It's a book that's so politically charged that we need a more liberal government to do The Fountainhead so that everyone won't freak out or something. Rand's working philosophy of objectivism has had an undeniable influence on modern-day libertarians and American conservatives. Snyder says his interpretation of The Fountainhead is divorced from politics. You can't really divorce.
You can't really do that, yeah.
You want a mansion, you end up with something that sort of looks like a house. For me, that's always what The Fountainhead was about. For a lot of people, it's a big political thing. For me, it's not so much about that. Honest, guys, I'm not a right-winger. Honest.
This is absolutely ridiculous. This is seriously like McCarthyism.
Explain yourself, Zach. You were on right-wing YouTube channels. I'm using air quotes.
That we decided.
I'm using air quotes.
I honestly don't even know how they vote. Nor do I care because I don't even watch those channels.
Explain yourself, Zack Snyder. Recant. You are a Democrat, right? We need to know you're one of the good guys if you want to keep working in Hollywood.
It doesn't matter if you say you're that. If Twitter decides you're not, if the media decides you're not because they decided, you have to respect people's identities unless they decided something else. And then they don't have to respect it. Only you have to respect it. That's what I'm mad about. Zack Snyder, whatever he does, he does. I honestly don't care about that. But what I care about is this whole idea that that they're always holding everybody accountable on trial for whether or not they think you're right winger or not. And this is stupid because in America, you have the right to be a right winger if you want to be. You have a right to be a liberal if you want to be. You have a right to be in the damn middle where most people are, including us.
Don't even vote. There's a lot of people out there that don't even give a crap. I mean, I really didn't give a crap about politics that much until the last couple of years just because everybody forces you to give a crap.
Well, here's the thing. By doing this, all you're doing is making people go the way you don't want them to.
Yeah.
Because by the media and that perpetuating this and acting like it's a crime and putting everybody on trial for, even if they're in the middle, all it's doing is pushing people in a way you don't want them to be pushed. We're seeing that we're far leftists in Hollywood come out and say that they're politically homeless now because they don't want to be part of it anymore because you never passed the purity test. This is stupid. I think people are just tired of it. Like I said, majority of people are in the middle. And they might lean left or lean right, but these extremists that they want to paint everybody as are a very, 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 very tiny number of people in comparison. And this is stupid. You have to be put on trial to about politics in films. I'm like, grow the hell up.
Yeah.
When you walk down the street, you can't pinpoint who's Republican and who's Democrat. Who the hell cares? God,
Twitter.
Hollywood, pull your head out of your ass. And the media needs to stop. The media is causing the division because they got hits that way. Yep. They're causing all this division and bullshit. Who cares? Is it a good movie or not? It's all that matters.
That's what used to matter.
That's what should matter, and it's going to need to matter again.
Now it's who's behind the lens and what their personal lives are like. That's all that matters.
Then Hollywood wants to know why no one's tuning into the Golden Globes, when no one gives a shit about what they do. They're trying to pay their way into YouTube and stuff and try to leverage audiences that way because they're losing eyeballs right and left. And you want to know why? This shit is why. People are tired of it. They're tired of you telling them what they should and shouldn't think, who they should and shouldn't vote for, what they should and shouldn't watch. I'm sorry, you can keep talking because I keep interrupting you.
That's okay. I was actually going to wrap it up because I don't know what else there is to say. Zack Snyder was sort of accused of fraternizing with the wrong people, and now the media is basically putting him on trial and getting him to recant and explain himself. This is really fucking sad.
This is McCarthyism.
It is. We're going to wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.